Hey guys, what's going on? Season Salt here with a Hockepedia post-tournament wrap-up. So for those of you guys who have watched the games with me on Twitch, on YouTube, on Camcord, wherever you guys have been tuning in, there's a lot of mixed feelings and some strong opinions in regards to, I would say, the organizers of these tournaments, myself being an organizer as well as some of the other organizers, as well as the state of the game in itself. For those of you guys who haven't had a chance to understand where I come from, I've organized 4 Hawk Promo Series Championship tournaments. Mostly successful for the most part. I was also a guest shoutcaster for the iOS Winter Tournament, for those of you guys who have met me there, and as well as the Hockepedia Championship, which I have just finished wrapping up. A lot of people were concerned that they were saying at first, the games were rigged, the games were fixed, yada yada yada. How, some people felt that they were getting preferential treatment over other teams. So, how the Hockepedia guys do it, Kugi and the gang, when they do the streams to reveal their matches, it's completely random. He writes the names in a bowl, he writes the names on a piece of paper, he throws them on a bowl, and then he picks them out as such, and then that's how the teams are seeded. For the Hawk Promo Series, my tournaments that I've hosted, we go off of experience. So for the first HOC Promo Series that we hosted on Twitch way back in the day, we would interview teams, and we would spectate matches. Some of the guilds got together, they showed me some of their footage, and I was like, okay, judging on what I saw, I would put certain teams to make it fair. The more teams that we had, obviously, the teams who have played really well in the previous tournaments would basically be split up. So there would be no one bracket with an OP, like too many OP teams in it. And that was how we did it. I'm not sure how Gameloft chose theirs. I think it was a first come, first serve for Gameloft when they made the signups for the iOS tournament. But in no way, shape, or form is anybody trying to rig a tournament or make it unfair to anyone. So getting those, people were getting messages, I was getting messages. I wasn't even the organizer of this tournament. They're like, oh man, this tournament, it's rigged, it's rigged, it's rigged. And I'm like, it really isn't. When we make these tournaments, because the game is so poor in its stability, as organizers, we are charged with making these extra rules that would never be in any other game tournament ever, that have to basically protect the players. So like the general rule that the Hawkmaster tournaments use is that, if there are no kills before 5 minutes and there are no towers, you can remake the game. It's seeming more and more that there might have to be a change to this rule. However, we have had instances where teams have abused this rule, even so, and we've had to kind of modify the rule to either remake games, or we've even had to punish teams for violating this rule. For instance, we had the issue with Chaotic and DRT in the HOC Promo Series 4, where we saw a game live on stream. We have it recorded. It's on my YouTube channel for you guys who want to look at it, where 2 teams were both had major discrepancies on what was being shown. One team says that they played one completely entirely different game from the game that we spectated and we saw live. So we had to draw the line there, and we tried to settle it between the teams, and obviously DRT ended up forfeiting in the tournament, and Chaotic ended up moving forward. It didn't really matter because Chaotic ended up disqualifying themselves in the next round anyways. So in the Hockepedia tournament, again, we had teams like Chaotic who quote-unquote had these disconnects that, we apparently weren't spectating the right game, and, they say that they won and the other team says that they lost. The rules that we make, we're not the developers of the games. We make these rules, and we try to keep the game as fair as possible. We try to change the rules as to make the game fair for everybody, because unfortunately it does not seem that Gameloft has the power to make this game crash free. I don't know why. I wish I could tell you why Heroes of Order and Chaos crashes so damn much. It sucks. I'm a veteran player. I've been playing since the game came out on both iOS and Android, and I can tell you it's it's tough on both platforms. So for people that like to say, oh, iOS runs better, it really doesn't. I think I see people disconnect just as much, and I see the same kinds of problems when we host these tournaments on both sides. I wish I could tell you that Gameloft was going to fix the game and make it better. I really don't know. That's for the development team to discuss. But, you know, getting back to our standpoint, as organizers, we try to make these tournaments as fair as possible. I can guarantee you that, you know, I mean, take a look. The organizer of the Hakapedia tournament was playing in his own tournament, and he got bounced out. He got defeated. He lost to Slaughters. So, you know, a message to Gameloft, or our message to Gameloft would be, you know, you want to find, as a company, you want to find a way to make the most money possible by adding content. I get it. You know, the first huge discrepancy that we had was the Donovic skin. That skin is now $60-somewhat. You can't expect players, I mean, people have bought it, which is the sad part, but you can't expect the community to stick behind a company when they're making these games and they're putting downloadable content in the game. One skin, you mean to tell me that one single skin for this one champion costs $64? I can spend that much money and get a brand new game for my PlayStation or my Xbox. You can't do that. I think it's shady. Also, we were told that you know, quote unquote, they could not fix certain lags or certain crashes because it would cause them, it would force them to have to rewrite the game from the ground up. I don't know how true that is, but I can guarantee you, and I'll pull it up momentarily, I find it funny how I'm loading up the game right now, and you can actually see here yourself. They tell us that they cannot fix the lags or crashes, and we have new things being added to the game all the time. We have new, I mean, I assume that these are all new codes and stuff that they add. For instance, you look here and you have something, you have the Orange Blessing. This is a new system that basically adds graphics. More graphic, you know, more graphically intensive things to the game. I mean, you can click here and find out. It leaves a special image on the ground when you die. Let's see here. Scout Guard's Honor. What is this? You can use the special skin on the Scout Guard. You know, special, all these extra graphics. Font Frenzy. Change the color of the font in-game chat. Dead Giveaway. Oh, that's when you die and stuff. You know, they find time to add things like this. You go over to the store. You go over to the skin. And epic. Look at that skin. Look at the, oh, not to mention the ads that I just got here. So 4,200 runes equates to about let's see here, $50. You're looking at spending, you'd have to buy one of the 3,500 runes and then the 1,550 in order to even purchase that one skin. You know what I'm saying? They find the time to add all these new things, and they don't find time to fix the crashes, and it sucks. And as tournament organizers, it puts us in an awkward position because we're sitting here trying to promote a competitive environment, and we're being judged by our fellow players and our fellow community, our fellow community members, and we're responsible for trying to protect our fellow community members while they're playing in these tournaments, but the game itself is not performing well. And I really wish that somehow this video will get shared and you guys could share it amongst the community. I know I'm off on a bit of a rant, but I hope you guys take this video and pass it along. We need to find a way to you know, if it's that this game is on its way out, then let it be on its way out. And let us all move on to other games, you know, like Vainglory or League of Legends or any other MOBA that makes us happy. You know, but we're being milked, and it really sucks because I'm not motivated to continue hosting tournaments. I'm getting less and less inclined to be a part of any of these community events. I still talk to the people on iOS community. I still talk to them on the Android community, but I tell them all the time, man, this might be my last event. This might be my last event. This is the first event that I did not host, and I was just a shoutcaster. And it's going to be like, it's going to keep getting worse. So we like the game. We want Gameloft to save it. If you guys could do anything to give Gameloft any information on crashes and things like that, please do, because, you know, we're in the, you know, there's a chance that this game could very well die. And obviously that's something that none of us want to see, especially we're all veteran players. We all want to see competitive environment, but, you know, like I said, pass it along. These are my thoughts, not only about the Hakapedia tournament. You know, you saw at the end of that match, the first match was a 3v4 with all the disconnects. Slaughters was losing. They end up winning that match due to the disconnects, and then the same thing happens in game 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody you know, first it's somebody on Slaughters that disconnects, then he comes back, and then somebody on World Alliance disconnects, and then obviously, you know, that decides the tournament. That's it, you know, and things like that can't happen. So please, Gameloft, if you're out there, please fix the game, please, because it's really tough to have to keep promoting and enduring that, and it just, it's hard. It's really hard because, like I said, we're being judged by our own players. And hopefully this isn't the end for me, but right now I'm going to probably take a break from this game until I see some notable improvements. So I hope you guys take care and see you guys in the near future.